We often hear nightmarish stories from identity theft victims who have to work incredibly hard to fix the damage done. This morning, we hear from two women who know a lot about ID theft because they made a career out of it. Julie Watts of our San Francisco station KPIX was given exclusive access behind prison walls for this story.
It's easy, it's fast, and it's a fast come up.
It's how Cheryl Thrasher emptied bank accounts for a small crime ring.
There are some banks that would make it easier.
Tiffany Andra did it to get drugs. They're two of the more than 1,400 California inmates currently behind bars for identity theft crimes, and they agreed to sit down with us to reveal the tricks of the trade by dissecting Bonnie Hoag's story, one of last year's 8 million identity theft victims.
I contacted every single bank, let them know I had an identity theft, made sure they closed my accounts and put any kind of alert they could.
But Cheryl says that doesn't matter, and she's not surprised that even though banks were notified, this happened. 1 week after her wallet was stolen, bank tellers say this woman used Bonnie's ID to clean out her accounts at 2 different banks. You've walked into banks and used fake IDs to take money out of people's accounts. I mean, how is that possible?
You basically try to find a teller that's looks young, you know, just starting or whatever.
And Cheryl says the secret is distracting those tellers with friendly conversation, something she says every ID thief knows.
Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go purchase this car or go put a down payment on this.
Another common trick?
If you go more towards the end of the day, you know, they're not really paying much attention. They're just doing the transaction to hurry up and get it done.
She says that's something identity thieves count on, and likely something this woman knew when bank tellers say she tried to steal money out of Bonnie's 3rd account.
The teller called me one day. She's like, "Were you just in here?" I said, "Absolutely not. You need to go get her." She's like, "Oh, we just closed." She came in 2 minutes of her closing, and when we tried to ask her another question, she got skittish and ran out.
You know, banks have security guards.
I think they make it a little bit too easy.
Tiffany believes the guards should have detained the woman with Bonnie's ID, but says thieves know that's unlikely, even when tellers suspect fraud, because she feels banks are too worried they might offend a customer in the event they happen to be wrong.
A lot of people do shady stuff.
And Cheryl points out thieves aren't always working alone. When she was stealing money, she says she often had help from the inside.
They had told me who to go to, so that's who I went to.
And when she didn't have an inside man, she says she was taught well-known workarounds for everything from passwords to fingerprints.
They would use like super glue, liquid bandage. They would put it on their fingers and wait for it to dry just a little bit and then like put it to somebody else. That's how they would get a new set of prints.
Is there something banks can do to prevent people like that from coming in and stealing other people's money?
Make sure that they're asked a more stringent amount of questions before letting them take a large amount.
I don't think there's enough security in place.
They suggest real-time fingerprint verification, along with regular employee drug tests. But these women also point out what's more important than how they steal your money is how they steal your identity to begin with.
People dig in dumpsters, or they may break into houses or cars, and then they may know somebody, hey, this looks like so-and-so.
But Cheryl says the most common place to have your identity stolen is right in your front yard.
Don't put your outgoing mail in a mailbox at night, ever. You know, if they see a flag up, it's gone.
Julie Watts, CBS News, San Francisco.
We should note the woman in the surveillance photos in Julie's report has not been charged with any crime. Police are asking for help in identifying her.